So John, tell me about Eagle Crest.
Crest Aerodrome is a great airport which was founded in about the mid 80s or so. Has 26 families. We have about 35 airplanes housed here at Crest, and we have a 3,500-foot grass lighted runway, and it's just a great little airport. Planes coming in and out of here all the time.
And I flew my plane in there, my Bonanza, and the only problem I had was when I went home, I had to spend a lot of time cleaning the weeds out of the landing gear. But it was
I
really
know,
a
and
lot.
we had to take a lot of time rolling the runway to get those ruts out.
Oh, I didn't put any ruts in there.
No, you didn't. They weren't that bad. Thanks anyway.
John, I know Eagle Crest has a UFO park there, but I heard there's more than one UFO around Eagle Crest. Could you tell me a little bit about the other UFO?
A lot of people haven't even heard about the United Flying Octogenarians, the UFO. This is an exclusive group of individuals, probably about 1,600 of them around the country, who have become UFOs, the only requirement being that you have to be 80 years or older and still flying. Well, I was inducted into the UFOs, and as a result of that, I can wear my little pin here that says I am a United Flying Octogenarian.
I was invited to your hangar, as a bunch of other people were, and it was for something. You were getting an award from the FAA, and it's a very, very prestigious award. And this was a very exciting day for all of us, but especially for you. So tell us about that.
It's called the FAA Wright Brothers Master Pilot Award. I was very proud to be able to receive this award. And I would just say that a lot more people, a lot of more pilots should apply for this. It indicates that you've had 50 years of professionalism and contributions to aviation. So that's why I was particularly proud when this certificate was presented to me with pictures of no other than two Wright brothers there.
Once we start flying, pilots, we become pilots, we get all excited about aviation, we lay in bed thinking about aviation at night. I mean, we can't help but do that. We're all excited about it. So what were your thoughts and dreams over the years about aviation?
Well, when you think about wanting to become a pilot, you think about a couple other things too. And I always thought that there were three things that were really important if you become a pilot. One would be to live in an airport community, which we do. And the second is to have the actual airplane in which you took your first lesson. And the third is to stumble on an airplane in a barn someplace.
Okay, John, so let's get a close look at your hangar and some of the airplanes, beautiful airplanes you've got in your hangar. And the first one is this Aranca Champ. So tell us about the Aranca Champ and how you acquired it and anything else you want to say about
I found the Aranca Champ because I actually searched for it, as it was this one, NC83515, was actually the plane in which I took my first lesson in December of 1955, which was about 50 years before I actually found it, tracked it down, and acquired it. And it sits in my hangar now. It's a beautiful plane, great shape. I put new cylinders on it, made a few changes to it, but other than that, she's flying as the day I sat in that seat 50, at this point it's been 65 years ago.
Flying has the term barnstorming, and I think the term barnstorming takes on a special meaning for you, John.
Well, as pilots, we're always enamored when we look at these old biplane barnstorming days, and I've always been enamored of a biplane, so I found two planes. One is a Fisher 404, which I found in a barn in New York, and it was hanging from a ceiling on a gear with four wings hanging from a rafter. So I purchased that one, the Fisher 404, and then sitting right under it is the Fisher Celebrity, which is a two-place biplane. And it has a radial engine on it, and just a great little airplane that is reminiscent of those old barnstorming days.
I know your family's involved in aviation, and tell me about Buttercup.
Buttercup is an Elan 1964 Elan A2, which is a takeoff on the original air coupes. Looks like an air coupe, flies like an air coupe, although it does have rudder pedals. But it's a great little airplane, and the key thing about air coupe, I love taking kids up in it. I love taking family members up, and I particularly love taking my daughter Heather up. She decided she was going to become a pilot, so she had quite a bit of time in Buttercup with me. And then she went on to get her pilot's license, which she got in another aircraft with the flying club.
How does your wife feel about all these airplanes you own in your hangar in aviation?
Well, that's a great question. You know, she has a basic motto about my buying and selling airplanes, and I've had about 10 in total over the years. She always said, John, if you want to buy a plane, you've got to recycle your assets. You got to sell one if you want to buy one. So the last one I bought was a Magni M24 gyroplane, which she loves because it's so easy for her to get in and out of. In fact, she even named it, and she named it Daisy Bell.